Last Sunday was the 5th week of the NFL season, and this young lad was doing his homework. He was boning up on one of the most colorful rivalries in football, New Orleans versus Dallas. The Saints had met the Cowboys 5 times before last Sunday, and although they'd never beaten them, New Orleans had always given their neighbors a close, tough game. Dallas always fills Tulane Stadium, and last Sunday, 83,000 came to see if the Saints could break this string. Back to bolster the explosive Dallas offense was Dwayne Thomas, while the Cowboys' defense is supposed to be one of the league's best. Although the Saints, like the Cowboys, have tried 2 quarterbacks, Archie Manning, number 8, was the key to the Saints' success. Another hero named Archie had Betty, Veronica, and Jughead to help him. Archie Manning had a young defense and a lot of heart on his side. And last Sunday, he continued his quest to become King of the South. He left them gasping with his opening day miracle against the Rams, and again today, he would leave them with their tongues hanging out. I'm Bob Delaney, and this is the NFL Game of the Week, the Dallas Cowboys versus the New Orleans Saints. Craig Morton started for the Cowboys today, and it didn't take him long to get the Cowboys rolling. On the first play of the game, Walt Garrison went 36 yards with Morton's screen pass. And on the game's second play, the Cowboys unleashed Dwayne Thomas, number 33, who started for the first time this season. Thomas adds a lot to the already potent ground game, but on a repeat, watch 2 Dallas linemen clear his path for 9 yards. Then, from the Saints' 9, Craig Morton made his first big blunder. Hugo Hollis was the man who stole Morton's errant throw, and the Saints' defense had quickly dug themselves out of a deep divot. But then, the Dallas Doomsday defense entered the game, and the Saints' first offensive series went nowhere. On first down, Archie Manning ran into confusion in his own backfield. On second down, Manning hit Danny Abramowitz, but he ran into the TV camera for a close-up. Abramowitz's appearance on TV should have humbled him, but he came away with a swelled head and a cracked helmet. And on third down, Manning had to eat the ball. The Saints had to give the ball right back to Dallas with good field position near midfield. Morton continued to pass despite his early interception, and he continued to be off target, although this one was caught out of bounds. Morton had a lot of problems with his arm, one of football's strongest. Last year he was plagued by an injury, but this year said the arm was 100%. The only problem with Morton's rifle now seemed to be that he has to readjust the sight. 3 straight incompletions, and the Cowboys had to give up the ball. The Saints took good field position to boot when Richmond Flowers met the return man before he had the ball, and the flags came flying. First and 10, Saints at midfield. This time, Archie's offense fared better. On this series, Manning disdained the run altogether and went at the Cowboys' only supposed weakness, their pass defense. After hitting Abramowitz, Manning rolled right, avoided a tackler, and fired on the run for setback Tony Baker. Somehow, the ball found its way through 3 defenders, and the Saints had a touchdown. Another look at the score showed that Manning used 2 nice play fakes, then rolled right, avoided the lunging Larry Cole, then threw. Herb Adderley missed the interception, and Baker was home free. The Saints led the Cowboys 7-0. Late in the first quarter, the Cowboys moved the ball well again as Morton went back to his incredibly strong ground game. On this, the last play of the period, Dwayne Thomas picked up a first down, as a rare close-up look at the measurement demonstrated. Then Morton went back up top, determined to score quickly rather than control the game on the ground. And Walt Garrison made a nice catch. But on second down, Morton again was burned. His sideline pass was timed perfectly by Dallas Howell, number 20. And 60 yards later, Howell had the Saints on the Cowboys' 9. The Saints secondary had done it again. Howell, Hollis, Renew Moore, and D'Artagnan Martin, the 4 Musketeers. Howell is one of 3 football brothers. His brother Mike plays for the Browns, and his brother Lane played for the Eagles. Archie Manning wanted to quickly widen his lead, but he found the Doomsday defense ready, willing, and able to foil his plan. The Saints had to settle for a 29-yard field goal from Charlie Durkee and a 10-0 lead with 12 minutes left in the half. Settling for a field goal is normally nothing to cheer about, but down in New Orleans, the cheerleaders haven't had that much opportunity to do their number, and they did it. One of the main reasons the Saints were on front by 10 was their ability to contain the explosive Cowboys return men. Coach Landry had inserted Dwayne Thomas on kickoffs, but even he couldn't break the long one on the Saints bomb squad. The Saints defense, too, was generally containing Thomas's running. He was unable to sweep the outside successfully. In fact, the Cowboys series after the field goal was one of the strangest ever seen. Morton mixed his plays well, but every substantial gain was negated by either an ensuing loss or a key penalty. The Cowboys kept getting the first downs, but because of the losses and penalties, managed to net only 21 yards while running off 18 straight plays and controlling 8 minutes on the clock. It all ended in an unsuccessful bid to cross the Saints' goal and an unsuccessful bid for a field goal from the 50 by Mike Clark. Number 25, receiver Al Dodd, took the short attempt and loped 77 yards on a remarkable return before he tired and his knees buckled at the Cowboys' 15. The Saints once again had made the big play, and Archie Manning followed Dodd's act with a virtuoso performance of his own. St. Archie had scrambled his way into the end zone and into his fans' hearts. The Saints were on their way to one of the biggest upsets in their short history, and the first half ended with the Saints shockingly ahead of the mighty Dallas Cowboys, 17-0. This is Gumbo, the Saints' 156-pound mascot. And if he seems open-mouthed in amazement, remember his team had shut out the powerful Cowboys 17-0 in the first half. It's revealing that going into this game, the Cowboys' defense is ranked only 7th in the NFC, far from their accustomed position at the top. It indicates that more than their more publicized quarterback problems is troubling the Cowboys. On the first series of the new half, New Orleans once again found it couldn't run against Dallas, so on third down, Manning took to the air with negative results. Mel Renfro's interception gave his team the ball on the enemy 23. On Dallas' first play, Dwayne Thomas, behind a good block by John Nyland, ran through a huge hole for 9 yards, putting Dallas at the Saint 14. But on the next play, the turnover, which had hurt them so much in the first half, occurred again. This time it was a fumble by Walt Garrison. Watch number 87, Richard Neal, strip Garrison of the ball. New Orleans had the ball on their own 19, and Dallas remained scoreless. On their next offensive series, Dallas made a change. Roger Staubach was at quarterback, and he came out throwing. Number 64, reserve linebacker Ray Hester, broke up a pass intended for Bob Hayes. Hester had replaced starter Wayne Coleman, who was injured in the first half. On the next play, Staubach speared a wide-open Allworth for 15 yards and a first down on the New Orleans 41. Then, while his hand was hot, Staubach went for the biggie and found Gloucester Richardson all alone for the Cowboys' first score of the day. A repeat of the play shows a play action to Thomas immobilized the defense for a brief moment, giving Richardson time to beat his man, cornerback Dallas Howell, and leave the entire Saints secondary behind. New Orleans 17, Dallas 7. On New Orleans' turn with the ball, they discovered again it would be impossible to run against Dallas. First Hoyle Granger, then Jamie Ford hit a stone wall of blue. So on third down, Manning again went to the air, rolling left and throwing a beautiful pass on the run to Al Dodd, who coughed it up to Cliff Harris. Dallas again had a break, this time on the New Orleans 47. Another look at the play discloses number 34, safety Cornell Green, was all over Dodd, who still made the catch, then blew it when hit by Renfro. What had been a 22-yard pass play for New Orleans now was another chance for the Cowboys. With the ball in Saint territory, Staubach literally ran out the rest of the third quarter. He gave the ball to fullback Garrison 3 consecutive times, and though the yards were tough ones, Garrison got them for a first down. Walt Garrison is a man who isn't as well known as some of the other Cowboys, but his value is immense. Despite the presence of Calvin Hill and Dwayne Thomas on the Dallas roster, Garrison is the steadying force in the Cowboy backfield. Now, in the fourth period, on the Saint 27, Staubach hit Allworth over the middle for 8 yards and another Dallas first down. From the 16, Jolly Roger threw a perfect pass to Bob Hayes, who had beaten the cornerback, and Dallas had their touchdown. Hayes pulled a muscle on the play. However, the Cowboys were back in the ball game 17-14 with 13 minutes to go. In another typically hair-raising Saints-Cowboys game, Dallas had cut New Orleans' lead to only 3 points. Archie Manning tried to regain momentum for his team, but another fine pass was mishandled by his receivers, and the Saints were forced to punt. Julian Fagan's towering kick appeared to hang up in the wind, and Dallas's Charlie Waters mishandled the fair catch. John Schinner recovered for New Orleans on the 49, and in a game of errors, it was the Saints' turn to catch a break. Unfortunately, New Orleans couldn't take advantage of the gift. On second down, Bob Gresham dropped another Manning pass, but it wasn't all his fault. An isolated look at the Saints quarterback shows his target might have been obscured from view. Manning and his adversary, defensive end Pat Toomey, then sat on the polyturf and watched the downfield proceedings for a while. Now it was third down 10, and Manning rolled left again and once more sighted Toomey pouring in, so Archie tried to get the yardage himself. A jolting tackle by Cornell Green brought him down 3 yards short. New Orleans was again forced to give up the ball. The NFC's leading punter, Julian Fagan, had been averaging over 43 yards per punt. Now, from the 44, he wanted to match his average to avert a touchback. And Fagan, who was one of the heroes of this game, laid his punt in perfectly. Fagan, who was a teammate of Archie Manning at Mississippi, had given Dallas poor field position on their own 3. But with over 9 minutes left in the game and trailing by just 3, the Cowboys had plenty of time to control the ball and still win. Up to this point in the game, Dwayne Thomas had been held to 46 yards. But Staubach gave the ball to his ace ground gainer in hopes of running the ball to better field position. But each time he carried, New Orleans swarmed him. The Saints' defense had come to this game ranked a lowly 10th in the NFC, and today the Cowboys gained 300 yards on them. But less than 100 was via the ground route, and more importantly, New Orleans was making the big play when it needed it most. Witness number 87, Richard Neal, who was a demon on defense all day long. After the game, Coach J.D. Roberts said Neal had been playing well all year, but this was the greatest game of his career. What Thomas couldn't do, Staubach did himself. On third down with long yardage, Jolly Roger skidded 11 yards for a first down. With Manning and now Staubach in the game, football fans were seeing more running than passing from the 2 quarterbacks. 2 plays later, Staubach did pass, a little square out to Allworth, who shook his defender, then slipped, or he might have had a long gainer. With a temperature of 82 degrees and a humidity that almost matched it, Tulane Stadium was a veritable sweatbox, and the polyturf was slippery. A repeat of the play shows more than just the slip. Watch number 22, D'Artagnan Martin, run into Allworth and his teammate, Ted Russell, who also seemed to lose his footing. Russell, who was activated from the injury list only this week, had to leave the game with another injury. Incredibly, he was the 3rd New Orleans linebacker to leave the game injured. Luckily, J.D. Roberts kept 6 on his roster. Allworth's slip had left Dallas short of a first down, and now on third down, Staubach, back to pass, was thrown for a loss by a threesome led by rookie Bob Pollard, number 82. The rookie tackle from Weber State is another of the many boys from Beaumont, Texas, now playing in the NFL. New Orleans had the ball, and as if following a script, Manning tried to gain on the ground, but was stopped cold. Then on third down, Manning resorted to running the ball himself. Manning's scramble produced 13 yards and a first down. But soon after, the Saints had to punt once again, and once again, Julian Fagan came through. The punter's kick traveled 44 yards, but high enough to allow the Saints to converge on Cliff Harris and knock the ball loose. Dave Cope, playing in his first game as a Saint, recovered for the Saints and took it to the 2-yard line. Incredibly, New Orleans had forced another turnover. This one, a second punt return fumble. The whole stadium went wild. Like he had done to the Rams on opening day, Manning applied the clincher himself. His touchdown increased the Saints' lead to an insurmountable 10 points with only 47 seconds remaining in the ballgame. As Archie Manning walked back to the New Orleans bench, he received a standing ovation from 83,088 hysterical fans who saw a rookie quarterback continue the legendary feats of his college career by beating one of the NFL's finest teams. But even as the crowd cheered Archie Manning and photographers surrounded him on the bench, the real stars of this game were doing their thing on the field. New Orleans' swarming, opportunistic defense added insult to injury to Dallas. On the final play of the game, Dallas Howell stole his second pass of the day to end it all for the Cowboys. The final score of this stunning upset, New Orleans 24, Dallas 14. The loss dropped the Cowboys' record to a mediocre 3-2, and more importantly, put them further behind the soaring Redskins in the NFC Eastern Division. Dallas has been uncharacteristically mistake-prone in their games, and this, coupled with Tom Landry's indecision regarding his quarterback situation, hasn't helped the Cowboy cause. The Saints have no such qualms at quarterback. Their leader is unquestionably Archie Manning, and while some rough days undoubtedly lie ahead, he and his teammates now enjoy an even 500 record. Today's great victory put them there. But even after both teams left the field, some drama remained. Tune in next week, folks, and learn whether or not Saints defensive tackle Dan Goich recovered his contact lenses.